When an empath and a narcissist cross paths, it's rarely just a relationship. It's a collision. It begins with a magnetic pull that feels like destiny and often ends in a quiet devastation that leaves the empath questioning everything they thought they knew about love and about themselves. This journey isn't a simple story of heartbreak. It's a specific, painful cycle. Today, we're going to walk through the 4 stages every empath goes through when they are abused by a narcissist. Recognizing these stages is the first step to reclaiming your power. Let's begin. Number 1, the stage of idealization and hopeful merging. This is the beginning, the part that feels like magic. The narcissist doesn't just see you, they seem to see into you. They mirror your deepest desires, your kindness, your dreams. They shower you with attention, praise, and what feels like unconditional love. This is the love bombing phase. For an empath who is naturally giving and seeks genuine connection, this feels like finding a soulmate. It's intoxicating. You finally feel understood. They tell you that you're different from everyone else, that you have a connection they've never felt before. This creates a powerful us against the world feeling. You share your vulnerabilities, your past wounds, and your secret hopes, and they seem to hold them with the utmost care. As an empath, your instinct is to nurture. Your ability to sense the pain in others is a superpower. But in this stage, it becomes your vulnerability. You see the cracks in their carefully constructed facade, the hints of a troubled past or fragile ego, and you don't run. Instead, you feel a powerful urge to heal them. You believe your love can be the thing that finally makes them whole. This sense of purpose can be just as addictive as their affection. During this stage, you aren't just falling in love with a person. You are falling in love with a reflection of your own best qualities. The narcissist becomes a perfect mirror, showing you the compassionate, loving, and dedicated person you are. You pour your energy, your time, and your heart into them, believing you are building something beautiful and lasting. The red flags are there, but they look like challenges you can overcome together. You mistake their neediness for intimacy and their intensity for passion. You are not a victim here. You are a willing partner, blinded by a hope so powerful it rewrites reality. You're all in, convinced that this connection is worth any price. Number 2, the stage of devaluation and confused dissonance. The magic begins to fade. The shift is subtle at first. A small, cutting remark disguised as a joke. A promise that is casually broken. The constant adoration you once received is now given and withdrawn, keeping you in a state of constant anxiety. This is the devaluation stage. The person who once put you on a pedestal now seems to be looking for reasons to knock you off it. Your mind enters a state of war with your heart. This is cognitive dissonance. You have 2 conflicting realities in your head. One is the perfect, loving soulmate from the beginning. The other is this new person who is critical, dismissive, and emotionally distant. Because it's too painful to accept that the first person was an illusion, you start to blame yourself. You think, if I just try harder, if I am more understanding, if I can get back to how we were, then the love will return. This is where the addiction truly forms, through a process called intermittent reinforcement. They mix cruelty with just enough kindness to keep you hooked, like a gambler pulling a slot machine lever, hoping for the next payout of affection. You start walking on eggshells. You analyze every word you say, every action you take, trying to avoid triggering their disapproval or their cold silence. Your nervous system is in a constant state of high alert. They gaslight you, making you doubt your own perceptions, your own memory, your own sanity. They will deny things they said or did with such conviction that you, being an empath who is used to giving people the benefit of the doubt, start to believe them over yourself. Your world shrinks. You may become isolated from friends and family because it's too hard to explain the confusing dynamic, or because the narcissist has subtly turned you against them. You are exhausted, confused, and your self-esteem is eroding day by day. You are living for the small moments of affection they throw your way, crumbs that keep you starved, but still hoping for a feast. The ground beneath you is constantly shifting, but you keep trying to find your balance on a foundation that was never real. Number 3, the stage of discard and utter devastation. This is the stage that breaks you, the discard. It often comes out of nowhere, with a cruelty that is shocking. The narcissist, having drained you of your light, your energy, and your self-worth, simply moves on. They may have already lined up their next source of supply, and they leave you as if you never mattered at all. The end is not a gentle parting. It's an amputation without anesthesia. They make it clear that you are now worthless to them. The silence they leave behind is deafening. You are left alone with the wreckage, trying to understand what happened. To make matters worse, the discard is often followed by a smear campaign. The narcissist will proactively go to mutual friends, or even your family, to paint a picture of you as unstable, difficult, or the one who caused all the problems. So while you are grieving in private, your reputation is being dismantled in public. You feel completely erased, not just from their life, but from the life you built together. Photos might disappear, and you might see them with their new supply, looking as happy as they once did with you. It's a message designed to inflict maximum pain. The trauma bond, a powerful chemical and emotional connection formed through the intense cycle of good and bad times, is now at its peak. You feel an overwhelming urge to reconnect with them, to get answers, to get closure, but the closure never comes from them, because providing it would require them to acknowledge your humanity. This is often the lowest point for the empath. You feel worthless, used, and completely empty. The shame can be immense. You question your judgment. How could I have been so stupid? How did I not see this? You might feel like a shell of your former self, unable to recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. This shattering is not just about losing a relationship. It's about losing yourself. You gave them the pen, and they rewrote your entire story, leaving you with an ending where you are the villain, the fool, or simply a character who was written out without a second thought. Number 4, the stage of awakening and rebuilding. The shattering is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of a different one. This is the final stage, the awakening. It begins with a flicker of light in the darkness. Maybe you stumble upon an article or a video about narcissistic abuse, and as you read or watch, the pieces start to click into place. The words, love bombing, gaslighting, discard, give a name to the chaos you endured. This is the moment you realize you are not crazy, and you are not alone. This awakening is painful because it forces you to accept a difficult truth. The person you loved, the relationship you fought for, was largely an illusion. Grieving this illusion is a necessary part of healing. But with this new knowledge comes power. You stop blaming yourself and start understanding the dynamic of the abuse. You begin to see your empathy, not as a weakness, but as a strength that was taken advantage of. The rebuilding process is slow. It involves going no contact with the narcissist, which is incredibly difficult, but absolutely essential for your healing. It's about rediscovering who you were before they came into your life. This means practical steps, reconnecting with friends you were isolated from, picking up an old hobby that brought you joy, even just sitting in silence to learn to be comfortable with your own company again. It's about reparenting yourself, of learning to set boundaries you never knew you needed. You learn that no is a complete sentence. You learn that your worth is not determined by someone else's inability to see it. Slowly, you begin to trust yourself again. You listen to your intuition. You start to fill your own cup instead of pouring everything you have into others. The scars will remain, but they become a map of where you've been and a testament to your resilience. You don't just survive, you learn to thrive. Armed with a wisdom that can only be forged in fire, you realize the experience didn't break you. It broke you open. It forced you to build an unbreakable relationship with the one person who will always be there for you, yourself. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel for more content that helps you understand and heal. And for those of you who have walked this path, I have a question for you. Which stage was the most difficult for you to break free from, and what helped you move forward? Share your experience in the comments below. Your story could be the sign of hope that someone else desperately needs to see today. Take care of yourselves.